Marconi.
Do you want breakfast? No, I want to go home.
Nick.
Once you've gone down the big dark hole, there's no coming back.
Tiny.
Now, please enter on the journey to my butthole.
Marconi, Nick, and Tiny.
Things that have been inside me and bug me a lot.
What?
Final podcast.
What's inside a butthole? I always want to know. What's inside a butthole? I always want to know.
I wonder what's inside your butthole. I wonder what's inside your butthole. Maybe there's astronauts and maybe there's aliens all inside your butthole. What's inside your butthole? I always want to know. What's inside your butthole? I always want to know. What's inside your butthole? I always want to know. What's inside your butthole? I wonder what's inside your butthole. I wonder what's inside.
Greetings, podcast compadres. It is I, Belonius Francine Marconi. Along with my friends Nick and Tiny, we invite you to enjoy yet another final episode. Also, I'd like to give you a gentle reminder to join our Facebook group if you haven't already. Many of the things discussed on each episode can be found there first. And also, don't forget our Instagram. Both of them can be found at Final Podcast. Now, in addition, we're also streaming highlights of each episode weekday mornings and weekday afternoons. And you can find that stream, plus where to get our podcast on all your favorite podcast platforms at finalpod.com. Now, without further ado, enjoy today's episode. I know there's a lot of people that are listening that remember us from radio, which is really great. So thank you both for checking this episode out. If you're, what is this, 3 episodes in now? So thank you for whatever it is, reason you're here. And, if you listened to us on the radio a long time ago, that's great. Make sure and pause this episode right now. You don't even need to pause it, really. But go to our Facebook group and join. There's really no requirements. You know how Facebook groups it says, do you want to ask people a bunch of questions? I'm like, no.
Yeah, I didn't want to be asking people. They already know us anyway. What are we going to ask them? Like, what's your shoe size? And how can you get that question wrong?
It's like if you're a father asking some dude who wants to date your daughter, what are your intentions? To join your Facebook group? Or what? Are you sure? You better have her home by 10 o'clock. What time does Facebook close? You don't know the answer, do you, son? Denied. No group for you. Sometimes we post little hints of what you may be hearing us talk about on the episode. For instance, that giant baby on TikTok.
God, that thing is horrible. It's a freak of nature. Like the government announces that there's UFOs, and then all of a sudden there's a baby that's giant and huge and looks 36.
Coincidence? Not a chance in hell. That baby is definitely an alien of some kind.
Look at its head.
Yeah.
Look at its head.
And I'm obsessed now with posting. I send them to Andy first so he can look it over. And I sent you one today of the baby playing in the mud with a football, and I think it's an NFL regulation football. And the baby is 12 times bigger than the ball.
The ball looks so small. I don't understand. It's a regulation football, and this kid's throwing it around like it's like a little tiny little ball. It's so weird and off-putting. Like, it really makes me sick to my stomach. Not because like the kid looks weird. It's so disproportionate. Like, he has this big ass head, this little football that's supposed to be big, one bigger pinky than the other one, and he's just like goo gawing, and he's like Godzilla. He's huge, and man. I don't get it.
There's another one where he's riding what appears to be a full-sized adult horse, but he is gigantic on top of it. Like, how?
Yeah, it's like a Clydesdale, isn't it?
Yeah, I swear to God. and it's like, they see me rolling, they hate, and he comes in on this Clydesdale in his parents' house, or I'm sorry, parent, because we all know his dad is dead. He killed him. And it's weird. And also then there's another one. Oh my God, there's one where it looks like he's climbing Mount Kilimanjaro and then he throws a stick at it. And then that song from AWOL Nation kicks in that says run. On TikTok, you know that meme that everybody's doing where it says run. And then the baby starts running towards the camera. And I threw down my phone, man. Too much.
I'm glad I haven't seen that. I'm going to freak out and have an anxiety attack. I guarantee it.
There's plenty of people in the sex worker industry that maybe have done it in actual, brick and mortar places, as they say. It sounds so douchey to say that, doesn't it? Like, oh, the traditional brick and mortar building that we used to work in, now we're just online. Shut up. Stop saying brick and mortar. All right, we get it. It's all right. But, okay, so a lot of people are transferring their in-person jobs to online only. So I was thinking maybe, I don't know if anybody would have interest. I was thinking of maybe starting an OnlyFans account, but it would just be me lotioning my feet.
Oh, yes. with the good body butter.
Yeah. And have a wish list on Amazon, and people could buy me different lotions specific to their,
genius.
Or should I shave my feet and not say that I'm a man and see if, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because people have different I feel like I have like Barney Rubble feet, but maybe there's a fetish out there from somebody that would be really into that.
Yeah, no, there's all sorts of fetishes out there for not only Barney Rubble, but like feminine feet that are a little chunky. And like, no, that's if you shaved your feet, man, you'd open up your income revenue tenfold.
Do you think I should shave my feet on a video and sell that?
Yeah, because you check this out. Hear me out. You could shave one foot, get some good angles, put some, feet pictures together, maybe a little bow, maybe some flowers, a couple empty bottles, and then you could just switch, flip it, reverse it, and then take pictures with the left one that has hair on it. So you get the best of both worlds. You get pancakes with syrup and pancakes without. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a great
one. I like
one.
that.
Yeah.
And on one of them, the shaved one, maybe paint my nails?
Yes. Yep. And I recommend a French tip on the feet because that really goes a long way. It says, not only do I take care of myself, but I care. You know what I mean? I care what you're going to see.
You seem to really have a vested interest in knowing about this kind of stuff. Are you aware of Fans Only or OnlyFans or whatever?
Well, I kind of wanted to run it by you because I am very familiar with the OnlyFans. I'm subscribed to 2 fans, and I was thinking,
what is it exactly? By the way, what is OnlyFans exactly? Because I know kind of what it is. It's usually people like selling videos and photos and stuff online, but it's adult content, right?
Right. So I'll give you 2 examples. The probably the preferred media response is OnlyFans is an outlet for artists who want to connect with their fans on a more intimate level. But for realsies, it's porn. It's pictures of buttholes, feet, the back of knees, some earwax. Like it's some weird stuff. And OnlyFans, that's where you're gonna get it. You know what I'm saying?
What about you? You have an idea for something?
Yeah, no, I've been kicking this idea around for a little bit because, as far as big guys go, I'm pretty much as good as it gets. I mean, I'm good looking. I'm young-ish. I got a great job, good career. I'm only missing one tooth.
You could bounce a donut off that ass.
Oh, straight off of it. And you could juggle donut holes on my stomach. You know what I'm saying? I am like what a big, thick dude should be. I'm good looking. I got a great Norwegian beard. So I'm glad you brought this up because I wanted to talk to the both of you because I value both of your opinions. I was approached by three of my girlfriends who
Oh.
wanted to talk to me about it. And they said, you know what, Andy, if you had some kind of outlet, and, let me backtrack a little bit. These 3 girlfriends, they're girls who are friends. However, there's always a little bit of like kind of like sexual tension there. And there's always been this like, oh, well, you know what I mean? Like we should get together ASAP. And, they're gassing me up a little bit. I mean, take a picture, take a look at me at my picture and you'll know what I'm saying.
You decide.
Yeah, exactly. You figure it out. And they approached me and they all said that if I had some kind of content on an OnlyFans, that they would subscribe. And not only would they subscribe, they would share the link.
Wow.
That's a big one.
So,
I mean, talk about a compliment.
Is there any chance that they're doing this to egg you on, to get you to do something, then to like, look at this, and then they're like screenshotting and spreading?
Joke's on them, because I would be okay with that. I mean, I'm great looking. You can send a picture of my butthole. That's fine. It's great looking. I take care of it. It's nice.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't make fun of it if I'm confident. Share my butthole.
Hi, it's Marconi. You know me from Final Podcast, aka also known as Toilet Dad, from a previous episode, with a public service announcement about bidets. Bidets are great. They're fantastic. It's like a shower for your butthole. You can still use the toilet paper that you so love and enjoy, but with a bidet, you'll use so much less that you'll no longer have to worry about stores running out of toilet paper. And the great part about bidets, they come in all levels. The premium luxurious levels, with the heated seats and the flashing lights and the calming music, or a basic $30 level. You and your family will have the cleanest buttholes on your block. Take it from Toilet Dad. What's inside your butthole? Absolutely nothing. When you let the bidet take it all away.
What's inside a butthole? I always want to know. What's inside a butthole? I always want to know.
Andy turned me on to this new show. It's an animated series called Midnight Gospel. And I think, from what I can tell, and here's my problem with it, is I wasn't high when I watched it, but I felt high from watching it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's not a problem, but I think I would probably appreciate it way more if I was. And what had happened is, it sounds like it was just from what I can tell, it's like podcast audio clips interweaved with amazing trippy animation, like hallucinogenic type of animation, right?
Oh, so trippy. Yeah. So yeah, exactly. There's the main character, Clancy.
Yeah. And what's his deal? He's trapped somewhere. He's like quarantined on another planet. And his job, he decided to entertain himself. He would start a show every night and he just interviews different people. And like the first episode is Dr. Drew, from Loveline. And
it was perfect.
And it was friggin' hilarious. And then the second one is really trippy because it ends up where they turn into ground beef. And they're going,
yeah, they do.
And they're going through these tubes and being taken down. And it's just the podcast audio, but it's like an interview is going on while all this trippy, weird stuff, and they're being, ground into small beef chunks while they're just having a casual conversation, like on a podcast.
It's amazing, man. I think that's the theme of every episode. So that meat episode, he goes into like an emulator and he does this space cast, is I think it was what he calls it. And he has one guy that listens to him. And he goes to a different planet and interviews an important person from that planet. The thing that I like about it is that the conversations are thought-provoking enough, but there's so much going on in the background that it forces both sides of your head to work at the same time, and it's so hard, but it's so funny.
Yeah, that's why I only got through most of the second episode, and I need to continue. I want to. I loved it, but it does make you I just need to lay down for a little bit. My brain is not working properly. it's so much that you start laughing when you think about it.
No, and the animation, like the first one, I don't know if you picked up on it, but Dr. Drew's character, he's the president, and like him walking around with his little legs, and he kept slapping his assistant, and it just, the little things are so funny. I know you would appreciate that stuff.
Yeah, Dr. Drew is this tiny president, and it's like an apocalypse time, and Dr. Drew is like on top of the White House, like shooting zombies, and things are attacking, and then there's this giant thing slowly ingesting the White House, and they have to run away, and they get into this tank, and they're driving around. So like all this death is happening all around them while they're just having this casual conversation, and then randomly just, I need to shoot this guy to get out of this place, and then they're in the next scene, and it's a lot, but it's hilarious. It's all really good. And my favorite part is when Dr. Drew chops off some guy's legs, and then he's stepping, he's using his legs as stilts to walk, and then he falls down, and he just gives up on the legs and just brushes them aside and keeps going.
That show is brilliant, man. It's genius. It's you gotta be stoned though. You have to be high. I mean, you can appreciate it as is a little bit, but if you're stoned, the conversation means more, and the stuff going on in the background it's so much more. I mean, in the meat chopping, the episode after that with Dr. Drew, when they're getting chopped up into ground meat, they're having this deep conversation about like God and religion. And this war is going on in the background, and they're getting passed through these tubes, and little kids are eating raw meat, and they end up being this big giant meat monster. And it's what the hell, man? It's so much, it's so busy.
I think that's it. It's your brain. There's just so much you need to like rewatch it a second time to catch all the little things, and then sit down and breathe through your mouth for a couple of days, and then go back.
Yeah, I really wish I could sit down physically with you and watch it with a big giant joint.
I know.
Yeah.
What we need to like have, like, you know how we had that 3-hour hug at Nick's going away party a few years back?
Yes.
We need to like extend that, and maybe it's just you and I doing like what? Remember when John and Yoko Ono they did that Love In? We need to have our own version of that where we just lie in a bed for like 3 or 4 days and do nothing but like watch shows and have food brought to us, you know, like when we stay at Nick's house.
Yeah, just like that.
I'm going to nail you into a room. I'm going to put you both in a bed and nail the door shut.
It's fine. Just keep the food coming.
That's right. We don't we'll lock out the world. We don't need it.
Yeah, we don't need a beat.
Final podcast. Ideas.
A better version of that show would be Who Wants to Stay a Millionaire?
Oh.
You know, like,
Who wants to stay?
Like where millionaires have to answer questions correctly, you know, like maybe about their basic empathy for poor people and stuff like that. Or if they answer wrong, their money gets taken away or given to like charity.
Yeah. Ooh, that's smart.
So like guys would be out there sweating like, sorry, Jim, you lost your house.
Oh, I would DVR that. Absolutely. I'd watch that. Are you kidding me?
Who Wants to Stay a Millionaire? Maybe we shouldn't put that on the podcast, Nick. Maybe you could introduce me to a couple people. We could sit in a room and hash this idea out.
I've always thought it would be a really good TV show to do a TV show about pitching TV shows that were really bad and see the network's reaction.
But then what does the network know? Because they passed so many networks passed on Seinfeld and Friends, you know, all these great shows. And it just shows you that nobody knows anything. They're just like, they go on a hunch, and sometimes they're lucky. It really is.
Yeah, it becomes who you know and what you know, not how good this show is.
Look at the NBA. Like if you're watching that Last Dance series, the documentary with Michael Jordan, when the NBA was drafting him, he wasn't the first pick. And same with Tom Brady. Like nobody thought he was going to be anything. And when he started, he's just like, you know, some guy sitting on the bench. And Michael Jordan was kind of the same thing. And none of these guys could have predicted how great these people
Isn't it the same
turned out
with
to be.
all greats? So think about it, all greats. I mean, when you got that first overnight job in where was it? Toledo?
Tucson, Arizona.
Tucson. When you got that first overnight job, they go, yeah, it's just a kid doing overnights. He'll never amount to anything. Little did they know that you would be, at some point, the most
Amount to
famous
nothing.
radio personality in the world.
Some people write thank you notes. In fact, I think Jimmy Fallon does a bit on The Tonight Show for thank you notes. I decided to do no thank you notes.
Things that have been inside me and bug me.
Wait,
a lot.
what? Pause.
What things that have been inside you?
Yeah,
No
hold on.
thank you
Pause,
note.
pause. Don't just breeze by that real quick. Pause. What? Things that have been
No
inside
thank you notes for things that have been inside me.
I got a big, huge list right now.
Let's just go back
Actually,
and
but
think
it's
about this. No thank you notes for things that have been inside me. I'm
Oh,
seeing
right.
pictures now that I can't bleach
A memoir.
A memoir.
A memoir.
Yes.
No, okay, so here it is. I'll just, maybe we'll have a little music to set the mood, and I'll start and see what you guys think. No thank you cookie that somebody gave me that when I first looked at it by appearance, thought it was chocolate chip, only to learn after taking a bite, it was a raisin cookie. I mean, what kind of awful demon would do that to a person? Brenda at the office. That's who. No thank you. See, that kind of thing?
She's a psychopath.
Yeah. All right, here's another one. No thank you. Netflix documentaries that take 8-hour-long episodes to tell a story that could be told in an hour and a half. I mean, get to the point. There were at least 3 episodes of Tiger King that were just that meth mouth guy losing more teeth. Please. No thank you.
I'm glad to say I still have managed not to watch it.
What?
That's the new brag. I've never seen Tiger King. Nick's
Yeah, I'm
still a virgin.
So cool.
Time again, virgin.
That's right. All right, here's another one. No thank you. Every single TV commercial right now saying exactly the same thing. We get it. We're all in this together. These are uncertain times. We'll get back to life as normal soon, and you're here for us. I was trying to watch Judge Judy and forget about the bull for a while, okay? Yeah. No thank you.
If I have to see that girl from the Young Sheldon show tell me we're all in it together one more time, I think I'm going to have to not watch the show anymore.
All right, here's another one. No thank you, fold-out couch technology that hasn't improved ever. First of all, you have to pull out some contraption that's covered in months of, I don't know, Dorito and Cheeto Crunch Wrap shrapnel and Starburst wrappers. Then there's the task of making the fake bed. You know, the old guest sheets that come out that would have been destroyed or thrown out, but someone decided, oh yeah, let's save these for our lucky guests. Putting on a fitted sheet when you're drunk takes at least an hour. But by the time you filled the comforter, the comforter alone, do you hate me? Just tell me to sleep on the floor. What is this lumpy, crusty thing that you put on top of me? I don't know. I'd sleep much better on the floor rather than being tackled by your children who aren't sure who your parents' friends are that are sleeping overnight. And then you tell them to wake me up. Sorry, I don't have kids. I was drunk when I got here. That's the only reason I agreed to sleep on this pull-out contraption in my skivvies. And now I have morning wood and a headache. Stop jumping on me like a giant TikTok baby style. Come on. Do I want breakfast? No, I want to go home. Give me my pants. No, thank you. All right, and finally, no thank you, giant TikTok baby. How f***ing old are you? Why am I both terrified and obsessed with your every move? Like from murdering your father to destroying that NFL-sized football by squishing it with the palm of your hand? You scare every fiber of my DNA, and yet I can't stop watching you. Please release me from your evil clutches. Giant demon baby, I said, no thank you.
You know, I'm highly concerned about that TikTok baby, that it's a girl.
Oh, what a plot twist. That's a big ass girl? Oh, yeah. Hell no.
Well, there you go. Those are no thank you notes. Nick does sometimes, he does the news, you know, because on our old show back in the day, Nick was in a small, really tiny room, and we called it Gnome Hole News. Remember that, Tiny?
GNN.
So, Nick, now, will you do a couple of weird stories, and Andy and I will try to guess what the story is. We'll try to guess what's going on.
Yeah, I'm really good at these.
Here we go. Ready? Here's story number 1. Oregon man drives to 11 different Watts in a single day to stock up on what?
Oh, I know this one. I know. He goes around and he gets as many of the thank you meals from McDonald's.
No.
He goes around and he tries to get as many free tacos as possible throughout all the food carts in the city, and then he gives them away.
I like
that's a good one.
Both went for food, which is
well,
interesting.
Yeah.
But you were close. Oregon man drove to 11 different Wendy's restaurants twice in a day to stock up on free nuggets.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's smart.
They're giving away free nuggets like for now until, like, I don't know, the end of Corona.
How do you get that? Do you just go to Wendy's and say, hey, can I redeem my free Rona nuggets?
Click on the bottom of your screen to find out.
Yeah. It's right there.
Yeah.
Don't you see it?
Police in India reveal this to detain coronavirus lockdown violators.
Oh, wait. Hold on. What did you just say to me out loud?
Police in India reveal this device to detain coronavirus lockdown violators.
To corral them. Wonder Woman has the lasso of truth. So the Indian version would be the lasso of the lasso of Rona. They use a lasso, a magical one. Final answer.
That was hard work. What about you, Coney?
I got lost in Andy's eyes. What did you say again? I don't know. I'm gonna say like a daddy's belt, like like the belt that daddy would wear to wear you out when you didn't do your chores at home.
Go get my switch.
Yeah, go pick a switch off the tree. Maybe is it daddy's belt?
It's not. It's actually a 6-foot metal pole.
What?
Has a loop on the end, and when people violate, they put the loop around them with a 6-foot pole and detain them.
You're kidding me. Hold on. Where do they have it? Do they have it in their leg? Where do you hold it? Where do you put a 6-foot pole?
They carry it in their trucks, and when people violate the Rona restrictions, they loop them with the pole.
What?
Man takes what to the face to win a Guinness record?
Oh,
well, that's easy.
That's an open-handed question.
Yeah, right. God, I'm having anxiety. There's so many options. A guy took what to the face? Well, let's start here. He took a open hand slap. He took a dodgeball and a wet piece of pizza.
Wet pizza.
I'm gonna guess. A box full of dried noodles to the face, or how about a giant TikTok baby?
Right to the face.
Final answer. Yeah,
it's actually wet sponges. He got them in 30 seconds. He was hit with 43 wet sponges.
Okay,
a dream come true, really, when you think about it.
It was a Guinness World Record holder.
I knew it had something to do with something being wet.
wet
and oily.
Wet, oily.
What, because if you did use that TikTok baby, it would pee on you.
Yeah, it's absolutely pee on you, yeah. And it's a little oily. It's way greasy.
Yeah, because he's always running around with that damn football in the yard and jumping on it and stuff when he's not riding his giant Clydesdale pony.
hate that kid.
Son of a bitch. Well, you know, guys, we've done a lot on this podcast. I feel like maybe too much. Nick, do you have any parting words of wisdom to give people?
Things are always better with meat.
I mean,
Andy?
I don't have an argument for that. That's great. I think everyone should listen and watch the Midnight Gospel, and I feel like you should find your best friend, and you should just treat yourself and let them cuddle up with you and get a nice pizza and watch the show, and then you can call the number below and let us know how it is, and I'll miss you guys.
And I just have to say, be kind enough so people don't hate you, but be rude enough so people know better than to tag you in one of those dumb internet challenges.
I hate
Dude, who wants
things.
to tag me? I want to do 12 push-ups. No, thank you. That should be on the list.
I never respond
All
to
right,
those internet challenges. I never do. People
Oh,
always
no, I
tag
never
me,
do either. I never
challenge you to put 10 of your favorite albums, one a day, on the Facebook. So I'm like, yeah,
No.
challenge not accepted.
But I hate those people that just want you to watch like 30 slides of memes that they've found on the internet. Like, you know, you got to mix it up.
That is super annoying, and I hate it. It's usually a white lady that does it.
You spot it.
Yep.
Marconi, Nick, and Tiny. Final podcast. Find full episodes everywhere you get your podcasts at finalpod.com.
Well, so, gentlemen, here's the thing. We're on the stream. It's called The Alternate. People are listening to highlights from our podcast. You know, not every podcast has a stream to be on.
What?
Nick's dogs seem to love it. You know, Nick's dogs. There's no stopping them from enjoying it. I mean, when they're listening right now.
What?
Feel like you've watched all the things? Find even more to love with Xfinity X1, the ultimate entertainment experience. Catch live sports, they're back, along with more scores and more. With the Xfinity Sports Zone, the best sports entertainment experience. Plus, find all your streaming apps and more in one place with the award-winning voice remote. X1 makes entertainment simple, easy, awesome.
To learn more, go online, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas.